Let's start chapter number 5 of class 12th, that is magnetism and matter. In this chapter, we will study about magnet and its properties, magnetization and demagnetization, magnetism in matter, and many more. So, let's first study some topics which are related to this chapter. Number first is, what do you mean by magnet? Magnet is that substance or an object which attracts metal pieces like iron, nickel, cobalt, and alloy like steel, etc. Magnet shows directive property, that is, when magnet is suspended freely, then it rests in geometrically north and south directions. What do you mean by natural magnets? The word magnet is derived from the name of an island called Magnesia in Greece, and natural magnet is a naturally occurring iron oxide ore. Its chemical formula is Fe3O4, and it is also known as magnetite. Natural magnet is also known as black stone, lodestone, or lodestone. Natural magnets are weak magnets and they are irregular in shape. That is, they have not indefinite shape or size. So, in order to get strong magnets as well as the magnets of particular shape and size, artificial magnets are formed. Artificial or man-made magnets are those which is formed by rubbing ordinary iron pieces with magnets, and the property of magnetism acquired by this iron piece after rubbing. This process is known as magnetization. These are strong magnets. Their shapes are definite. Magnetization can be produced by passing current through a coil, and the coil is wound over a soft iron cylinder. And when the current is passed through the ends of the coil, then the coil will, because of the current, the cylinder will get magnetized, and this soft iron cylinder is known as electromagnet. When we are using soft iron cylinder or a piece, Then it shows temporary magnetism. It shows magnetism till the current is flowing into the coils. And when we switched off the current, then it loses its magnetism. And instead of this soft iron piece, if we will use steel cylinder or rod, then steel do not lose its magnetism so easily, and it behaves as a permanent magnet. So generally we prefer soft iron cylinder, and we can increase the magnetization by increasing the number of turns of a coil or by increasing current in a circuit. Artificial magnets can be demagnetized by hammering, by heating it, or by throwing it. The magnet will lose its magnetism or the strength will decrease. Some examples of artificial magnets are bar magnet, these are short magnets having rectangle shape. Magnetic compass used to show direction. It is fixed on a stand. Having two poles, north and south. North pole is red painted and it is pivoted at this end, that is, it can only do rotatory motion. Magnetic needle, which we use in our laboratory. It is placed in a brass box and enclosed with a glass lid. Horseshoe magnet or U-shaped magnet. It's a magnet of high strength and it looks like this. Next topic is bar magnet. Bar magnet is a short magnet and it has two poles. It has a rectangle shape. The two poles, one is north and another is south pole. The poles are not existing at the ends of a magnet. It is little inside near the ends of a magnet. The length between these magnets, the length between the poles of the magnets is known as magnetic length or effective length. And the length from the ends of the magnet is known as geometrical length. As this is a short magnet having two poles, therefore bar magnet is also known as magnetic dipole. Some properties of bar magnets are they shows attractive property, that is, bar magnet attracts small pieces of magnetic materials like iron, steel, etc. And more is the strength, more is pole strength, more attraction bar magnet shows. The second property is property of alignment or directive property. That is, when the magnet is freely suspended, then the north pole always points towards geographical north and south pole towards geographical south pole. And the axis which is passing through north and south pole is known as magnetic axis. And the vertical plane which is passing through this magnetic axis is known as magnetic meridian. We will study about magnetic meridian later in this chapter. This is a vertical plane which is passing through this magnetic axis is known as magnetic meridian. Third property, like magnetic poles repel and unlike magnetic poles attract. It is as similar as electric charges. Property, property of pairs. That is, isolated poles do not exist, monopoles never exist in magnet. They always exist in pairs. That is, if we will break a single magnet into two parts, then it will divide it into two poles. That is, each magnet has two poles. Property number fifth, that is, repulsion is the surest test of magnetism. It is as similar as we have studied about electrification. That is, in electrification, repulsion is the surest test for electrification. Here, this we can understand by the example. Let us suppose it's a bar magnet having two poles, and if we will bring close to this bar magnet another magnet, having north and south pole and one magnetic material like iron piece or steel piece near to it, then this bar magnet will attract this other bar magnet as well as magnetic material because of its attractive property. And this magnetic material is get attracted by this bar magnet. But if we will change the polarity of this bar magnet, then this bar magnet will repel another magnet and attract this magnetic material. So this property of repulsion only differ between bar magnet and magnetic material, because magnetic material is always attracted by another magnet, but only bar magnet or magnet always shows the property of repulsion. So it is the surest test for its magnetism. Property number 6, property of induction. That is, magnetism will be induced in a magnetic material even if we will not touch the magnetic material to a bar magnet. Then also a magnetic material will get magnetized having some magnetic properties, and it will get attracted or attract paper pins. It will attract paper pins. So some magnetism is induced in this iron steel rod. Now the next topic is magnetic field. Magnetic field is a vector quantity and it is denoted by B vector. It is the space around a magnet or a current carrying wire within which its influence can be experienced by a compass needle or a small magnet. Experienced by compass or a small magnet. Now, what do you mean by magnetic field lines? Magnetic field lines are the imaginary lines or curves and these are the lines which shows that the region in which the magnetic material experiences a force. But we cannot say that the magnetic field lines are magnetic lines of forces, because it is not giving the direction of force, it is giving the direction of magnetic field. The tangent drawn at a point on magnetic field lines gives the direction of magnetic field. And magnetic field lines are of two types. It can be uniform or non-uniform. If in a region, if the magnetic field lines are equally distributed and and in the same direction, then they are said to be uniform. And if they are widely separated at some region and closely spaced at some region, then they are said to be non-uniform. So, uniform magnetic field lines are, let us suppose we are taking here the lines which are parallel to the plane of a paper and they are equally spaced and have same strength and same direction. So the examples of uniform magnetic field lines are cross fields. Uniform cross fields can be shown by this. That is, the magnetic field lines are into the plane of a paper and perpendicular to the plane of a paper, and the magnetic field lines are out of the plane of a paper and perpendicular to the plane of a paper. Non-uniform examples. The example of uniform is in a current carrying solenoid, the magnetic field lines inside that solenoid or a bar magnet, the magnetic field lines are uniformly or equally separated, having equal strength. So inside the bar magnet or a solenoid, the magnetic field lines are uniform. Non-uniform. In non-uniform magnetic field, the lines are widely separated or not equal. That is, so in that region, the magnetic field lines are weak, and at this region, the magnetic field lines are strong. In a bar magnet, we can see the lines are emerging from the north pole and merging into the south pole outside the magnet, and inside it is going from south to north. So here the magnetic field lines are more, that is, here it is non-uniform and inside it is uniform. Similarly, in a current carrying solenoid, the magnetic field lines are out of the plane of a paper and into the plane of a paper. So magnetic field lines in a bar magnet and current carrying solenoid are same. Thus we can say that bar magnet as an equivalent solenoid. This we will derive in this chapter later. Now let's see some properties of magnetic field lines. The first one and the important one is magnetic field lines form closed and continuous loops. The second one is the tangent drawn at any point of a magnetic field gives the direction of magnetic field. The third and the important one is no two magnetic field lines intersect or cross each other. This similar concept we have studied in first chapter also, that electric field lines never intersect or cross each other. Here magnetic field lines never intersect or cross, because if the magnetic field lines will intersect, then at a point, if we will draw a tangent and the tangent gives the direction of magnetic field, so here we can see that at a point magnetic field has two directions, which is not possible. Magnetic field at point P, and the last one property is, if the magnetic field lines are widely separated, then that region shows weak magnetic field. And closely spaced magnetic field lines represent strong magnetic field. Now, next topic is magnetic dipole. Magnetic dipole consists of a pair of magnetic poles and having equal and opposite strength and separated by a small distance. That is, magnetic dipole consists of a pair of magnetic poles of equal and opposite strength separated by a small distance. Examples of magnetic dipoles are magnetic needle, bar magnet, magnetic compass, current carrying solenoid, and atom. Atom is also behaving like a magnetic dipole. Current carrying solenoid, and atom also behaves like a magnetic dipole. This we will derive in this chapter. Here, now let's study about first pole strength. Pole strength is denoted by let P. It's a scalar quantity. As we have studied that electric force on an electric pole is given by Fe equivalent to charge into electric field. Similarly, magnetic force on magnetic pole is given by Fm equivalent to magnetic pole into magnetic field. By this, the unit of magnetic field we can find, that is P equivalent to Fm by V. Unit of force is Newton. Magnetic field is Newton upon ampere meter. Therefore, pole strength is equal to ampere into meter. Now, what do you mean by magnetic dipole moment? Magnetic dipole moment is a vector quantity denoted by small m, and it is defined as the product of pole strength of each pole or either pole. And the distance between the magnetic poles. It is given by m equivalent to p into 2 L vector. Here L is the distance between the poles and its direction is from south to north. Unit of magnetic dipole moment. Unit of pole strength is ampere meter. L is in meter. Therefore, it is ampere meter square. And the direction of magnetic dipole moment is from south to north pole. That is similar to the magnetic length direction. So this is all about magnet and magnetic dipole, and we have studied about uniform and non-uniform magnetic field and their properties. Now in the next class we will study about the bar magnet as an equivalent solenoid and many more equations. So this is all for today. Thank you.